Hello, and welcome back to some Downbringer Tarot today, again, with your host, Carmilla. I'm excited. So, today we have our week ahead reading. I feel like I want to do it a little differently. I haven't decided what that looks like yet, but we'll just let it go and see how it unfolds. So, today we do have a collective web. Per usual, 4 piles. You can go ahead and go down to the description box and skip the collective reading if you want to skip that. And all the timestamps are down below. So let's jump into the collective reading before we hit the individual general messages. So for our collective reading today, we actually have a message coming through of stepping into your own right, your own power, while shedding the old you that tried to keep you confined. And this old you is a piece of you that you love. You know this piece of you very well. It's the piece of you that tries to defend and scare you out of and into things. This is the piece of us that I feel like we're shedding, because it seems like this week we're doing some grounding work, some root work, like grounding stuff into the earth or grounding stuff into the material plane, like honoring, appreciating, knowing what is true. And stepping out more so out of the dilly-dally, like being on the fence. This is more of knowing what your truth is and rooting that in. So I'll show you the cards that we have today for our collective. So the power animal that we have as a collective this week is the mountain lion. So more of that energy of stepping into our own power, trusting ourselves to lead, trusting ourselves to do what it is that we need to do for ourselves, our families, our friends, our dynamics, our groups, and things like that. I swear every single time I start reading, there's somebody outside with a car like, I want to go fast. It's so funny. But yeah, the mountain lion energy coming through as like stepping into your own power, whatever that looks like for you. That doesn't have to look like, someone being really strong and confident and aggressive. That could look like someone being soft and gentle, and whatever it looks like for you. What does power mean for you? Like, what charges you? What turns you on? That's what I mean more about power this week, more than just doing and pushing, or like a more, how you would think of it as like a production, like a masculine type energy, but more so of what charges you, what turns you on, what makes you feel excited, what excites you, what makes you feel passionate. So for our intuitive messages this week, we have the Ten of Swords with shedding. You're shedding, allow your metamorphosis, of course, because there's definitely that energy coming through of there is something that you're shedding. There's like an old film or old piece of you, old thought, especially thoughts and ideas. I feel like it definitely is a lot of like mental stuff, mental crud that's just being shed, because a lot of it is dead already, and you're just simply hang on to it because it feels safer to hang on to it, because if you let it go, that means that you don't have anything to use against yourself or other people anymore. But when you hold on to it, that means you could still use it as leverage, as ammunition. You can use it against something. So that's the reason why you're not letting it go. But it seems like the things that you're shedding have already died and they've outstayed their welcome. And that's exactly when you do that, that's exactly when things get toxic, because you have something that is rotten, that is sitting there rotting. It's like trying to eat a rotten piece of food. It's the same exact thing. You're trying to use it knowing that it's not, knowing that it's not good for you. So I feel like those are the type of pieces that we're shedding, so that we can use them more so as lessons, as soil. I feel this strong root energy coming through, or like a rooting or grounding, like every time I tap into this energy, I just taste soil, and I see roots and vines and stuff just like in the ground, like not even vines, like veins in the ground. It's very beautiful how it's coming through, the awareness. So it was interesting too, because this reading, the Tree Angel Oracle deck wanted to come out, and the card that we got for the collective is card number 5, which is really interesting, with Rowan. And this card really is talking about like stepping out of societal boundaries, as in whatever society is saying, you get to choose whether you adhere to that or not. Whatever, it's important to note that you internalize the standards of society. So if society says this is beautiful, you internalize what that beauty is, and then you work towards that beauty. So I feel like Rowan this week is asking you to check in with your habits, especially when it comes to sexual energy, sexuality, and stuff like that. Check into your habits. I don't know why this like sexual energy is coming up, but there's a message here of checking into your habits and checking in and making sure that the standards, that the goals that you're trying to reach, or the standards that you hold yourself to, are they actually yours or are they society's? Because I feel for some reason it seems like there's a lot of like pent up sexual energy or sexual withdrawal or some type of fear around gender and sex, which makes sense as a collective. It makes total sense why that is coming through. I don't know. I'm sitting, oh, why is this here? It makes total sense why that is strong. And that's because our society is not friendly when it comes to this type of energy. It's always like put into a box or put over there, something that we don't want to look at. And I think that we are being challenged every day more and more to take a look at sex, take a look at gender, and to speak positively of sex and gender and anatomy and different things like that, like learning a new way to navigate it. So this energy is definitely coming through of like challenging what you identify with when it comes to society standards. Like, am I really this? Do I really believe this? Or is it just something that society told me was right, so I just kept thinking that it was right? Like that's an energy that Rowan is bringing through for the collective. For our Star Temple Oracle this week, which is funny that that came out as well, we have Maya with the Universal Midwife, midwife with birth. I birth fruitful and sacred assignments. So this is definitely a reminder of the fact that you, it's so funny because I keep hearing this over and over again, but you are here with an assignment. You're here with goals. You're here with things to create, to give to the world, to process, to transmute, to change, to bring about. You're here on assignment. You're here. And I feel like this is a message from almost like the Dark Mother or something, where it's like coming from the void or the ethers with a reminder that you are part of this process. And it's important that you recognize yourself as part of a larger process than just this human being bobbing around the earth, which is also true. I'm not saying that you're not a human being bobbing around the earth, because you are. However, you're a human being bobbing around the earth with a mission. You have goals, you have things in this life that your soul is taking you to achieve, and the agendas are a lot more aligned than you think. Truly what happens is it's the fear of how powerful that those goals can be. So I feel like I like a lot how these two energies are playing together, with knowing that you're here on assignment, and also knowing like, hey, maybe I should challenge some of these beliefs that I have that came from society and that aren't being produced by me. So this is checking in and reminding yourself of your own true opinions and who you truly are, and not just society's mass consciousness says this. So this is checking in and reminding yourself of who you are, who you were born to be. Yeah. Our last card for this week, we have the Chakra Wisdom card with the second chakra, sacral chakra, with I reward myself. So I actually feel really called to read this full card, because I just feel like there's something, like there's something that the words need to hit inside of each and every one of us. So reward myself. I know that I am truly worthy and deserve to receive the good things in life, and I give myself permission to have them. It is time to enjoy the fruits of my labors. I aim to incorporate and embrace fun and joy in my life. I realize that all work and no play is a recipe for energy flow, disruption, and exhaustion. I allow myself to experience and receive more pleasure in my life, and I am flexible and open to change. I am receptive to embracing activities and events that come my way, even those I may have avoided in the past. Yep, and I love how the sacral chakra is coming out with all this other energy that we've already talked about. And this is that energy of rewarding yourself, of knowing that every day you do your best, and every day you are a human being bobbing around the earth, but you're also part of a process. And this process doesn't mean just work all the time. You're always going to be processing, even when you are happy, even when you are in joy. So this is more so of, especially for people who are a lot more spiritual or a lot more like self-aware, make sure that you're taking time to actually honor and appreciate what it is that you're doing. Besides thinking, I'm not enough, this isn't enough. Like, actually take a step back and appreciate the work that you have done and that you are doing, besides trying to make everything into work. Actually take some time and enjoy. So, all right, we will go ahead and dive into our general readings for today. So, selenite came out a lot for our crystals today, and then we have our argonite. So on pile 1 we have this selenite stone, which totally looks like a dragon scale. I say it every time because it's so funny. That's pile 1. And then we have the argonite for group 2. Super cool crystal. And then we have the selenite wand for group 3. And then we have the selenite heart for group 4. So take your time, do whatever witchy thing it is you need to do in order to get into the mood for your reading. And I, my friend, will see you there. Group 1, for all of our friends who chose the selenite dragon scale for your reading today, these messages are for you. So we'll get into your power animal first, per usual. Oracle cards a little bit later, and we also have some Ethereal Visions Tarot to get into as well. So I'm really excited. I'm sorry about all these like little crystal pieces that are everywhere. It's really random. So your power animal for this week is, we have a blank. I love the blanks because it's so funny. They like force me. They force me to channel, and the power animal messages always force me to channel, but the blanks even more so. So I like, now, after the conversations I've had this weekend, I see what it's doing. I see what's happening. So, let's see. Interesting. So the energy of walrus is coming through here. So funny, because earlier in the reading, the collective message, I was talking about bobbing around the earth, and there's a walrus energy coming through. Like, yeah, we're bobbing. You know, the way that they move. The message of walrus that is coming through is like a message of like stamina and endurance, which is really interesting, but it's also a message of like you have more in the tank. Like, there's more that you can do, that you think, like, there's just a lot that you can do that you think you can't do, and the only reason you think that you can't do it is because you feel like you don't have enough energy, or that you're exhausted, or you're not like you're not set up, or like you're not designed to do what you're being asked to do. And I feel like that is not true. Like, walrus is saying that is not true. Like, walrus is basically, their energy is saying, like, look at the way that I move, look at the way that I get around, look at, like, I use every single bit of my body to move. So this is like a message of like you are capable, like you do have this power. You can do this. I like, the message is ringing. Like, I use all of my body to move. I use so much of my body to move. It's like every piece of walrus is like engaged when it's like flowing, and like it's moving. Like, almost like a boo, like a flow, like a wave. Like, they're just saying like there's more energy in the tank. So I honestly feel like this week is just realizing that you have more energy in the tank. Now, I'm not saying to overwork or overextend or work over capacity. That's not what I'm saying here. But this feels more like something that you're passionate about, or something that you like. It seems like it's something that you want to do, but you're trying to convince yourself that you don't have the energy to manage it all, or you don't have the space or time to take care of it all. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Like, I hear someone saying, I can't take care of all this. I can't do all this. Like, I can't manage all these different variables. And I think that you are putting too much of the responsibility on yourself, as in, I can't do all this. And you're like neglecting to actually acknowledge that you actually have support. I see that you have family, you have friends, and also you have spirit in your spiritual team. And I feel like they want you to acknowledge them a lot more, because it seems like you try to neglect them or other yourself from that knowing, or that like, I'm going to other myself from this because I don't know if I can trust this. But I feel like in order for you to accomplish what it is that you are doing, you're going to have to submit to this. You're going to have to trust it, and you're going to have to believe there aren't many other options if you're trying to reach the heights in your life that you want to reach. Like, honestly, that is how it's coming through very truly. Like, if you are reaching towards something beautiful and something great in the world, which is happening every day, but I see that you have like this vision of something beautiful and something large and something great. And the problem is coming in at where you think that you're going to have to do it all yourself. And that's just not true. Like, spirit is like, I have people lined up to help you. I have things in place already to help support you. So it's really about what you're thinking. Like, you can use all of your body and all of your energy. And actually, that feels very right to me for you, group one, when it comes to this energy. Like, that feels very right. It feels very yes. Like, you want to use your full body when you do things. It's how you are naturally. And you're trying to say that you're not because you're exhausted, but I mainly feel like you're exhausted because you're not moving your full body for the right things. You're not putting that energy into the right things, because what is happening is you're putting your energy into a place that's not reciprocating. It's just absorbing. It's taking that energy and it's munching it. It's overindulgent. Like, it's taking more than it's giving back to you. And you recognize that, and you know that, and you see it, and you have your awareness on it, but you're afraid to move your awareness off of it, because that means that you're going to have to move your full body and admit that there's something else out there that you need, and you don't want to admit that there's something else out there that you need. So your tank is full. Energetically, your tank is full and ready to go. It's simply the fact that you feel as if you can't move, or like it's going to take too much energy, and really that you're going to have to do it alone, but really that they're saying like, this is not for your entity. This is not for your entity. Like, this is not how your entity is set up to believe that it's going to work alone. And what they're so sorry, I did not mean to do that. And what they're saying is to put more energy and put more knowing and awareness on the fact that you're not doing this alone. You haven't done this alone ever in this entire life, and moving forward, it's going to be the same thing. You're not going to do this alone. Like, they're like, get this through your head. You're not doing this alone. So I love that walrus energy too. Love that energy. So I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards to see if there's anything else there that needs to be said. If not, if it's just confirmation, it's just going to be confirmation. But really, that's the energy that's coming through. Like, you're not going to be doing anything alone. I do feel like you will be more of a figurehead, or like a voice in a larger group or a larger pack. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be doing it alone. Like, you're going to have support. You're going to have a support system. So we have, okay, we have the moon, which was reversed. But when I was trying to pick it up, it was like, no, upright. So we have the moon. We have the Six of Swords. Yeah, that movement. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, of course, with bottom deck being your healing card, which is the Six of Wands, of course. Like, I don't feel anything differently. The message is still the same. I feel like the only thing that's coming through that's a little bit different is this. It's really, with the moon card, the need for you to trust in your own vision and your own dreams and know that you're not doing this alone is extremely amplified. I feel like the moon is coming through less as like less as like traditional like tarot understanding of what the moon is, but the moon is coming more through as the energy of the North Star, like following something, you know, like you have guidance. That is what is like very stern. Like, you have guidance. Like, there's nothing that you don't have. Like, look, like victory. Like, once you realize that you have guidance and you don't have to do this alone, you don't have to like pull everything out of your ass, and you don't have to like flounder over every bit of everything, you'll realize what this is leading you to, which is exactly where you want to go. It's literally exactly where you want to go. It's like this Six of Swords energy is right here. So it's like kind of like this cut off point where you need to consciously decide and make the shift and say, you know what, this is where I'm going. This is what I want to do. I can move. I can move. That's literally what the Six of Swords is saying. I can move, but it's up to you to look up and believe that, like, trust in your guidance, because you have guidance. It's like crazy the energy that you're holding, group one. You hold like a lot of power, a lot of energy. I just feel like a charged up battery that can just go for years. Like, whatever it is you want to do, you have the energy and the time and the space to hold it. You just have to believe that you can hold it, believe that you can do it, and believe that you're not going to be by yourself. And that's all across the board. I feel like you have friends, you have family, shoot, you have pets. Probably I can feel the pet energy even coming through, as in like, I am helping you. But also, most importantly, you have your higher self, you have your own intuition, you have your own knowing, which is your connection to spirit. And it's time for you to stop doubting that. It's really, really simple. I feel like spirit has given you enough. Spirit has told you enough. Spirit has shown you all the ways in which spirit is active in your life, and you're still deciding not to trust it because you think that you need to be at a certain place or in a certain time or in a certain way in order to believe that. But no, I feel like, honestly, this is the best place for you to believe and hold that belief and work with trust and belief, because really, you're being guided to something beautiful. You're being guided. That's the thing about it, is you're actually being guided to something. You're being guided to this victory. And I feel like the more you tap into this energy, the more it'll work for you, rather than like you being dragged by this horse by your ankle. You're actually gonna like get up and dust yourself off and actually like ride the horse all the way through. But this comes with a lot of trust. This comes with a lot of trust in you, and this also comes with a lot of trust of the universe actually working things out for you, especially when it doesn't look like that's what's happening. But there's still a lot of stuff that goes on behind the veil too that you don't have any control over, you don't have any power over. There's just balancing and karmic resolution and all that crap that goes on that, you're just playing out and you're processing and you're working through. So I feel like this week is really this week. Obviously, you don't have to like make any decisions or anything that don't feel right to you or don't feel safe. But I feel like this week you're gonna like finally make the decision to move. Like, you're going to make the decision to move. Like, you're going to make the decision to say, you know what, I do have energy for this. I can do this. I trust that I can do this, and I trust that I will be supported, because this is what is leading you to, and this is what you're wishing for. And it's like you're stopping this materialization just because you're too afraid to move. So there is that energy right there. Just trust yourself, really. That's all you have to do, really. You don't have anything. Like, the thing is, you believe that you have something to lose, and you don't. And I feel that strongly with the Six of Swords card. Like, you feel like you have something to lose by making this choice, and like, this is going to play out in a way that is a lot better than what you think, and you're not losing anything by making the decision that you're about to make, that you're making. So you're good, group one. Just trust that you're being guided and you're being supported. Trust where you're headed, and trust that your intuition is correct. Trust that what you're feeling is correct, and you know what you're being guided to. So, all right, let's get into your oracle cards. So your chakra wisdom card for this week is yep, wisdom and discernment, of course, which is the sixth chakra, third eye chakra. I am open to understanding the spiritual truths behind the situations occurring in my life right now. I offer my wisdom to assist others along their path. I trust in a higher source to guide me and to help others who ask for my guidance. Exactly, group one. I practice discernment and listen deeply within for the truth I choose to respond to, rather than just reacting to situations, acting with clarity, courage, and conviction. Exactly. I don't have to explain that at all. You know exactly what that means, group one. Like, you're being guided. You're fine. this is let me not say it, you're fine to invalidate your feelings. So what you're feeling is correct. It's fine to feel, this fear, and the reason why you feel this fear and things like that is because you're being challenged to feel their other side, which is courage, like which is you feel cloudy because you're being challenged to move through that cloudiness to the clarity. You see what I'm saying? So this is about you just building this inner well of like integrity and trust in self and hope, and also trust in the way in which the universe is designed to operate outside of you, and knowing that you are part of a larger process. So like it's going to work out. So our reminder for this week with the intuitive messages for you, group 1, is I exude power and beauty. I am passionate about experiencing a vibrant, fun, adventurous life. Exactly. That is you. You're ready to move. You're ready to do the thing. You're ready. You're like, I don't want to say you're stuck for no reason, but you're stuck for no reason. Like, you're literally holding yourself back just because you think that you don't have the energy to do the things you actually want to do, when really you're just spending the energy in places that you don't want to spend it, and you're too scared to recognize, like, hey, I don't have to spend my energy here. I don't want to spend my energy here. Like, that's what you're doing, is like you're spending your energy in the wrong places. Like, imagine a walrus, like, going, it's gonna, like, a walrus is gonna tire itself out by trying to get to a place where it won't be able to, like, rest and eat food and stuff like that. If it goes to like a barren part of the the beach, it's gonna be like, I'm tired. I gotta wait until I go back, or you know what I mean. So it's just like, it's very important for you to realize that you are responsible for managing your energy. Like, you are responsible for managing your energy. You have to choose and decide where your energy is going. Like, you keep thinking that because people want your energy that you have to give it to them, because this space or this idea or this project wants your energy that you have to give it to them. It's like, no, like, what you're actually being tasked with doing is managing it yourself so that you're spending it properly. Because when you, group 1, don't spend your energy properly, it's very destructive. It destroys you, and it destroys a lot of what you're creating. It puts a damper on it in a sense that you can't give as much to it as you would like to, because you're emptying your tank on going places you don't need to go. Like, you're using unnecessary energy. So it's very important for you to, like, really, really realize that you are responsible for managing your energy, and stop allowing other people to do that for you. Stop allowing other people to manage your energy, and take your power back, and know that you are supposed to be doing that yourself. Get it? Yeah. You're supposed to do that yourself. All right, so our advice from the Star Temple Oracle for this week for you, group 1, is the Holy Child Star Seed. I am a divine child of the universe. Exactly. You are part of a larger system. You are a part of this, not a victim of or a victim to. You are exactly where you need to be. You're being moved into position or proper positioning. You're exactly where you need to be. You know exactly where you're going. It's up to you to kind of like turn the car keys, basically. Start driving, have fun. Start spending your energy in places that you want to actually spend it. And then what you're rooting this week with the Tree Oracle is, we have Larch. It's so beautiful. I feel like I will read like the little poem out of the book for this card, because there's like a little poem that comes with it. But I feel like, honestly, this is more of like honoring guidance, honoring that energy, honoring where you're being like taken to, what grabs your awareness. So the poem is, your star has risen and will not leave you. Luck and inspiration, power and perseverance. Be ready and open yourself to the rhythm of the seasons, the earth who holds you, and the light of the heavens. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. This is basically a card of trust what is happening in your life. Trust the cycles, trust the guidance, trust how everything is unfolding, and trust that your truth and what you feel is right for you is all part of that. Like, you can't, what I feel so strongly for you, group 1, is that you can't deny the truth, and you can't you can't play both sides of this. Like, this is not You're either going to choose to move or you're going to choose to be stuck. Like this is not, like, it's your choice basically. And I feel like you're trying to make it not your choice, but it is your choice. Like, you're stuck and you're in this situation because of you and not anybody else. It's not what anybody else is doing, it's you. And I think that it's a little difficult for you to realize that, because you don't want it to be you want it to be something else, but it's not. You want it to be some type of, oh, this is just what needs to happen for my, you want it to be something else, but it's not that. It's what you're deciding and where you're deciding to spend your energy and your time, who you're deciding to listen to, what you're deciding to trust. Like, that is what is happening for you. And I honestly feel like the best thing that you could do for yourself this week is just trust your truth, trust your guidance, tap into that wisdom and discernment, and you will experience the level of clarity that you need in order to make the right decision. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right, group one, that is all for our reading today. I really, really hope it resonated. And if it did not, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So anyway, have a good week. I hope all these energies unfold beautifully for you. And I'll see you next time, group one. Bye-bye. Group two, for everyone who chose the Argonite today, this will be your reading. So, power animal first, or cards later, and let's get into this. So, your power animal this week is the beautiful dragonfly. Let me actually put it so that you can see it. So, what you're doing this week, group two, is transcending illusion. So, let me tap into this energy and see what dragonfly has to say. So when it comes to transcending illusion for you, group two, this is the understanding of your power. So I'm very positive that power was going to come through. This is understanding your power to shift, to alter, to change, and to influence the world around you in a greater sense than what you think you have. This is like you knowing that you're a powerful being, as in you hold significance and you hold a very specific resonance. You hold a very specific key in your beingness and who you are. Like, you hold a very specific key or frequency or vibration. And you play a very major role in the shifting that we see happening in our collectives, as we shift to the age of radiance. So this is you understanding that shifting is happening for you, so that when it happens, it can happen materially, as in, I'm talking like slowly because I'm trying to like translate as it's coming through, but so sorry if I'm like talking and it sounds like condescending. I'm not trying to talk to you like you're a child, but it's like I'm trying to translate at the same time. Really, the energy is, I feel like I'm tiptoeing on this, and I feel like you're doing this too. I feel like you're tiptoeing on this knowing. And like, shoot, this could be me, honestly, but like, you're tiptoeing on this knowing, like you're playing with this understanding that you're radiant, that you're wonderful, that you're beautiful, that you're all these beautiful things. You're raising your frequency, you're doing the work, you're actually doing the work, you're doing a fantastic job, but you're tiptoeing with the knowing. You're tiptoeing with the knowing, as in, like, you are playing around with it. Like, you're like, dee-da-dee-da-da, like, this is cool or whatever, but I don't have to actually do anything with this. And the funny thing is, you're right. You don't actually have to do anything with this. You don't have to do anything with this knowing. You don't have to do anything with it. However, this knowing is doing something to you. It's changing you, it's shifting you, it's altering you, and you're going to come out on the other side of this a different person. So it's really funny. Like, it's like you can play with this, you can have this be something that is not as large and scary and unassuming, but when it's done doing in your life what it's supposed to be doing, you're going to see what it was doing all along. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, it's great. Like, I honestly want to say that it's great that you're playing with it. It's great that you're not taking it so seriously and trying to force yourself into it, because it seems like any type of force would be painful, or any kind of force would be like, I'm hearing the word like strict. Like, it would just like be like, you, I don't know, it would be too confining or constricting. So honestly, group 2, like, all you're doing is like, you're transcending a lot of age-old illusions, and you're doing that in a very physical way. Like, and it's like you don't see it. It's like almost like a blind spot. You're doing everything. You're doing everything, and it's a blind spot. Like, it really is a blind spot. Because when, like, it's like when this knowing wraps up, you're gonna see how it was, like, how it was maturing you, like how you were growing, almost like in a way that you didn't see yourself growing. And like, you'll be able to look at this time in your life and be like, oh, that's what that was doing this whole time. But right now, you're just like, you're just having fun with it, and that's great. And you're supposed to be having fun with it. So honestly, like, have more fun with it, and like, honor and appreciate that you can have fun with this type of transition, and that you don't have to take it seriously, as in you don't have to rush it, you don't have to jump it, because what it's doing in your life is going to do anyway. It's going to do that anyway. Of course, there are going to be decisions and stuff that you're going to have to make along the way, but what it's doing in your life, like, it's going to do anyway. It's doing anyway. So you're transcending this illusion that it has to be anyway, like it has to be different, or like I have to do this thing, or I have to do that, or this must be done. You know, you're tapping more into the energy of, I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because it's my truth. I'm doing this because it's for me. I'm doing this because I enjoy this. I'm doing this because this is what I want to bring to the world. This is what I want to create. This is how I want to show up. Like, that is the energy that you're tapping into. And that is the energy. It's also energy that you're being tasked with holding and embodying. And that's where you're in the process of. And it's almost like happening through like a blind spot. Like, you don't see it. Like, and when I say see it, I mean like your brain doesn't see that this is happening, because it's happening in such a mundane, subtle, like physical realm way, where you can identify with everything as a human problem, as this is a problem, as this is, you know, just something to fix, or like, oh, this is just, even if you identify it as, oh, this is just a lesson, this is, you know, something I'm learning, like, it is definitely a blind spot for you, because you don't see how this energy is transforming you. So I honestly feel like this week you're gonna like have like a little more, not even a little more, but like, I feel like you're going to be gifted with some levels, not a full level, not full, but you're going to be gifted with another level of clarity that helps everything kind of like help smooth out. Like, it's going to help smooth out some things, because we're doing a lot of grounding this week. So I feel like there's a grounding that you're going to be like, there's a knowing that you're going to be able to ground. And there's a level of, I want to say elasticity, like a level of stretch that you're going to be able to tap into, because you're grounding this knowing. You're grounding this knowing of like, your life is okay. Like, you are okay. You're part of a larger process, and you're trusting that process, and you're transcending these illusions that try to trap you in personalizing everything, or like trying to attack everything, or being hypersensitive to your healing, as in I need to fix, heal, and that means I'll be able to manifest or be a better person. But you're understanding that you've already been the better person. Like, you've already been the good person. You've been traveling the right direction all along. Even when you try to convince yourself that you were going the wrong way or making the wrong choices, you've been traveling the right direction all along. And you're transcending this illusion that you weren't. That for somehow you were going to fail, or somehow you were going to miss your opportunity or your destiny, because you're realizing What is meant for you will happen, and you don't have to force that or overthink that. And also, you don't have to fully control the narrative. It's like spirit has that for you. The universe has that for you. You are co-creating with the universe. You know, you don't have to do it all alone. I feel like that energy is going to come through too a lot this week with the message of power. With power is to be understood as it's something that you're holding with others, not something that you're holding by yourself. You know, you're holding this together with a collective, even if, you know, that collective of you, of your trueness, of your connection to spirit and source, you know, your spiritual team, even your family and friends, the people who can actually fully reciprocate your energy and support you, you know, even if they challenge you. So this is you like understanding that no human being on this planet could ever do what any of us are doing alone. We're always learning from each other. We're always growing with each other and working together. And you're just transcending this illusion that I'm trying to get the words. Everything in life plays its role, even the very hard, tragic stuff. And you're understanding that this is happening on a bigger scale, like evolution, and not just people being bad and people being good and the good people fixing, but also knowing that even what we consider the bad playing its role too. So that grounds that understanding you that like you weren't traveling the wrong way when you made bad decisions, or when you hurt or you harmed or you did this or you were toxic, blah blah blah, this blah 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 that. It was all part of your life, all part of your journey, all part of your lessons, your karmic resolution, your understanding, your wisdom, your growth. Like it all played a part, and that's like what you're understanding, and you're transcending that illusion that tries to get you to think that there is wrong and wrong needs to be eradicated, and therefore I am wrong, and therefore I am imperfect, and therefore I am bad. Like you're coming out of that. Sorry that was so long-winded, but the language was kind of like being the language, which is funny because it's how I feel like about group 2. Like the language was being dodgy. Like, even though you're playing with this energy, which is great, there's still an essence of avoidance or dodginess. Like you're being dodgy. Because, dodgy. That just came through like the actual goddess Dodgy. But, like, I just saw her and I was like, oh, yeah. But, like avoiding. Like, you're still, like, avoiding this truth. You're playing with it and you're like, oh, this is cute. But there's still a level of avoidance because there's still fear of embodiment, which is what you're working through with this energy this week. So, yeah. Let's get into tarot and see if there's anything else left that we need to know about this energy of transcending this illusion. Because this feels very, like, what I feel is like taking my brain. All right. So we have the Page of Swords and the Five of Cups. This makes total sense. And then we have Strength. And then our bottom deck for your healing card is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So what I was going to say before the cards flew out was, what I feel is happening is I'm taking a piece of, like, taking my brain and grabbing it and, like, just ripping, like, a film off of it. And it's so funny, the Page of Swords jumped out like that. With the Page of Pentacles coming through, too. And I feel like the Page of Pentacles in reverse is your healing card this week. Is because you're reanalyzing what power in the material plane looks like for you, and, like, what does success and actually having a joyous life look like for you? And I feel like you're reanalyzing that. And the scary part about this, I feel like, in this Five of Cups energy is you're going to have to admit that when you look at your life in the future and you look at your life realistically, and when I say realistically, I say you look at your life in the way that you want to live it, there's some hard truths that you're going to have to face. And I feel like this is where you're being dodgy. You're being dodgy here because you know that there's some people, and it's very, very specific about people. There's some people in your life that cannot go with you here to this kingdom energy that you see here in the card. Like, I feel like you're preparing to leave a space or preparing to move on from something, or actually you're preparing to become this. So it's so funny how the cards are working today. So I feel like you're preparing to tap into this energy to become this. Like, this is what you're stepping into. And what you're doing right now is getting it through the mind. Like, you're understanding it through the mind, because when we understand it through a mind, we actually get the understanding. Like, we get the, what's the word I want to use here? We get the map or the blueprint. We can see it physically with our mind's eye. We can see the blueprint. When we see the blueprint, we can't turn away from the blueprint. And a lot of times we understand that there are some things that are going to have to change. And I feel like, honestly, the thing that's happening here is that there's some things that are going to have to change in your life. And I feel like that's why you're taking your time to play with this more so than like treat it seriously, which is great, because this is hard. So you should take this time. But you're playing with this more because you know that this change, it will come at the expense of certain relationships, certain habits and ideas. Like, if you have any place in your life where you're being a little more lazy than you know you should be, I feel like that's going to be called out. If you're trapped in relationships, friendships, romantic partnerships, whatever, that aren't serving you anymore, you're going to have to look at that realistically. Like, is this feeding me? Is this actually helping me? And I feel like you know the truth, and you know the truth is there are some spaces in which you're just going to have to move on. And that doesn't say anything about the other person. That's not to say that the other person or the habit or what didn't serve you or didn't help you get to where you were. It's just, it's like the time is up. Like, I feel like this Page of Swords is kind of like, it's so funny when the phone rang, I like randomly cut the deck and saw Judgment. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what group 2 is doing. This is what they're faced with. It's a higher calling. It's a higher calling. And when I say higher, I don't mean like higher as in better. It just means that you're ready to embody more of your truth, more of your remembrance, like more of who you are meant to be in this life, as in like being your true self, so that you can be of true service, so that you can live a life that feels healthy and it feels reciprocal and it feels like you're using it to the best of your ability, besides always straining and forcing and doing and white knuckling. Like, you're getting to the point to where you're embodying this strength and this beauty of who you truly are. And with this Five of Cups energy, I honestly feel like it's a higher calling. You will respond. You always have and you always will. And unfortunately, the Page of Swords energy is coming through and kind of like cutting things out of the way, or showing you people's true nature or their true intentions, so that you can truly say and see, like, hey, like, this is how this person is, or this is how this job is, and it's not feeding me. And energetically, I don't feel tasked. I don't feel up to task when it comes to changing, this environment, who this person is, or who these people are. So honestly, group 2, I feel like my message to you is understanding that you are reaching a higher calling. You're embodying the strength card. I see you stepping into the strength card. It's what you're doing. You're playing with this knowing right now, because it's a lot of power to hold and it's a lot of sensation for you. Also because the fear is you're stripping a old level of your identity. Actually, people who took advantage of your complacency and of your smallness and of your shrinking, there's people who took advantage of that. And when you step into strength and out of this shrinking and the smallness that you typically do, these people are not going to know how to handle you, because you're being something strong, you're being something new. So you're transcending this illusion that you need these people. You're manifesting just something new and something different, because you're stepping into a higher calling. And these people are just not, in these jobs and things like that, are just like, they're not meant for you. And you're not meant for them. Like, they're not meant to follow you where you're going. Like, it seems like they're meant, like, if they're meant to get off of the train here, you don't want them to miss their stop, you don't want them to miss their stop. So remember that you're reaching a higher calling, and you're really, really analyzing that this week. I honestly feel like this is the same energy to me. Like, this is like hold on, actually turn it up. So this is like the person here in the strength card. This is them before they go through like the shift. They're like contemplating, like almost I see this pentacle as like looking into a mirror, like like, am I really who I say I am? Am I really the person I want to be? And then when they step into it, they like cut their hair, and they let their garb down, and now they're free. So this is where I see you transitioning into the strength card, is where you decide, like you're over here deciding who you want to be, and you finally find out who that is, and you step into who it is that you want to be. And you just know that you're just going to have to come out of a lot of your shelling, and you're going to have to stop identifying with a lot of your trauma and your shrinking and the person you want to hide and blah, blah, blah. Because there's just something larger that you're working with. There's a higher calling. There's something larger that you're manifesting. And it's funny because you've done this yourself. You've been manifesting this for a long time. And now that it's coming to be, you're shrinking, you're pulling back, you're trying to override it. But it's like, oh, no, nope. Nope, it's already here. So that is the energy for you this week. Just transcending illusions. And when you do that, unfortunately, there's a level of reality that goes with it, which can take people, places, habits, and things with it. So let's get into your older cards. Let's see. Your chakra wisdom card, you have the heart chakra with generosity. Generosity is sharing. And when I say this, I feel the energy for, like, in my heart for yourself, like sharing your true self, being who it is you truly want to be. I give myself freely, and I am open to opportunities to do so. Exactly. I do this because I can, and I expect nothing in return. Speaking from the heart will let those around me know how I feel about them. My generosity will touch another person's heart and replenish their spirit. Through love, I have a positive, spontaneous, and lasting influence on healing and transformation of both myself and others. Now, when this card says like love and heart and speaking from the heart, this means speaking your truth. This doesn't mean coddling, enabling, trying to duck and dodge words in order to make other people feel comfortable, because it's like sugarcoating doesn't work. And I feel like in this situation that you're in, group 2, if you try to sugarcoat, you're going to find yourself back into this, you're going to find yourself manipulating. And I didn't want to say it, but that's the word. You're going to find yourself trying to manipulate someone or others, or you're going to find yourself being manipulated. So this is not about coddling, enabling. This is about saying the raw truth, being the raw truth, being who you are authentically, and trusting people to respond with their own truth. And if that truth is not something that you like or something that you resonate with, then guess what? You have your answer. This is about being who you truly are, showing the world who you really are, giving of your true self freely, so that people get to experience who you truly are freely and make their own decisions without you trying to manipulate and control the narrative. So that is that energy, which is really, really strong. It's scary, but it's strong. And what you should be trying to remember this week, I need to say, I feel safe venting and expressing myself openly and truthfully, honestly to others. So I want to say that again. I feel safe venting and expressing myself openly, truthfully, and honestly to others. That is the truth. That's the truth, group 2. And then your advice from the Star Temple Oracle, we have, Merope, the priestess. Embody. Of course it's embody, because this is the energy that you're embodying. I am an embodiment of the divine feminine. I want to read that again. I am an embodiment of the divine feminine. You're watching this group 2. You know exactly who you are. This is just the what you're embodying. Like I was saying earlier, this is same energy. It's what you're embodying. It's what you're doing actively. So what you're truly grounding and rooting this week, just another confirmation, just another healing. Yeah. Oh boy, you have cherry. Of course you do. You have cherry tree. Of course you do. You're embodying your truth. You're embodying your sweetness and your elixir, who you are truthfully as a person. You're embodying the divine feminine. Of course you got cherry. But I still want to read like the little poem, because I think they're really cute. I read the little poem out of the book. It's so funny. Hold on. Here it is. Do not judge yourself by your achievements. You have nothing to prove. You're already lovable, so love yourself, spoil yourself. Draw the nectar from the chalice to your lips. Bliss is the birthright of all creations. Exactly. Exactly. And you're reaching this bliss. It's your higher calling. And this bliss is you being your most open, beautiful, most desired self. Not the self that shrinks, not the self that wants to be everything for others, not the self that wants to be likable and adorable and all these things for others. But this is who you want to be for yourself, how you actually want to present yourself to the world. And they can eat it, and it can be sour, it can be sweet, but they can eat it. Exactly. So that is what you're looking into, the energy that you'll be working with this week, group 2. So let's wrap up this reading. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. If it did not resonate, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to absolutely anything that is not yours. So I really hope you have a good week. I really hope you tap into these energies because they are very, very here for you. And I feel like you'll tap into them regardless. So you're stepping up and you're being who it is that you actually want to be, which is beautiful. So thank you for sharing your energy with me today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed mine. So I hope to see you next time, group 2. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. For all of our friends who chose this selenite wand for their reading today, this will be your messages. So, oracle cards to the side, power animal first, and we have our tarot to add any more clarification. So, you have, for this week, you have squirrel. This is so funny. Group 3 really is like it's really time for you to understand your readiness, like how ready you are. Like I see this squirrel like overpacking. It's weird how it's coming through, but I see this squirrel overpacking in a car for a trip, like preparing all these like nuts and cherries and fruit and seeds and all these different things. And then it's like there's no room for anything else or anybody else. It's just a car full of just seeds and nuts and dried fruit and stuff like that. It's like you're over ready. Like you're overripe. Like you are more than ready. Like, and you're trying to convince yourself that you aren't, like you don't have enough, like you haven't done enough, like blah 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 this, blah 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 that. Like literally how it's coming through my awareness is I hear a sentence like, I'm not this enough, this hasn't happened, enough, and then all it transforms to is blah 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 blah. Like it transforms into blah blah blah. And I feel like what you're doing is you're doing the blah 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 because you're distracting. You are distracting yourself because like you're over ready. And when I say over ready, I mean like you are super over ready. Like it's like incredible how over prepared you are, like how over ready you are. It's like not even like prepared, like that word is there, but it's like it's not even that you're prepared. Like it's not like you're preparing for some imminent doom or something like that, or preparing for the worst. It's like whatever it is that you want to do or bring forth with whatever it is you're working on with the energy, like you're ready. Like like you've been ready. You're over ready. You're overripe. You've been ready to be picked. You've been ready to be picked. And that is the incredible energy that's coming through. You've been ready to be picked. Like there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Like I see someone like sitting down like writing a freaking novel, and like this novel has just been sitting in their body like, hey, like I have all the words, I have everything, like there's like it's beautiful, like I get it, like but they're for some reason like you're just like but it's not ready, but I need this publishing and I need this and I need that and I need this and I need that. But the book is like, I'm here now. The book is like, I'm here now. You have a pen, you have a piece of paper, you have a laptop, whatever it is, I'm here now. So it's like really interesting how this is coming through. Like it's like you're already over ready. And I feel like this week you have a choice, because I feel both energies. I feel both sides of these coins. Like I feel like you either choose to not be ready and to act like you're not ready because you're pretending, or you can stop pretending and say, you know what, I am ready. I know what the truth is. I know what I'm committed to, and what I want to commit to for moving forward. And I know what it is that I want to experience. I know what it is that I want to do. I know what it is what I want to feel in my body. I know what it is that is important to me. I know what it is that I want to do in this world, and I'm allowing that to unfold in front of me in the way that, you know, my soul needs it to unfold for not only my joy but for my growth. And I feel like that's what you're realizing, and I want to say that is what you're realizing, but I do have fear, and I feel like this is your fear, but I do have fear that you're going to choose to continue pretending. And I feel like the only reason you're going to choose to continue to pretend is because you're trying to keep yourself in this cycle of preparedness, so that, because it seems like you're overprotecting something. Like, that's exactly what it feels like. You're overprotecting something. Like, you're being super, super overprotective about a part of you, or about an idea, or about something that it is that you want to do. Like, you're being overprotective because you feel like, I don't know, maybe some type of harm may come to it, or maybe you want it to be perfect, or maybe you want it to not have to experience any type of like nicks or bruising or something, like you know how like an overprotective parent, like, this is what I feel about you and like your creativity and your projects, or like whatever it is that's coming of you. You feel like an overprotective parent, like you're overprotecting whatever this glory is or this idea is. Yeah, group 3, you're over, like, sorry for the phone, but you're overprotecting something. You're overthinking it. You're overthinking like what it need, like you're overthinking the needs. You're overthinking what this needs. You're overthinking how much this will cost you, how much this will take. Like, you're overthinking everything around this thing. It's just overthinking. I think this week you're realizing that it's overthinking. I have this strong fear though, and I feel it coming from you. Like, I feel like it's in my crown, like third eye energy, where like I'm pulling this fear from somewhere else. And this fear feels like, my fear is that you're going to continue to pretend. Like, you're going to continue pretending because you feel like it's safer to pretend that you can't be. Actually, the more I think about it, like, oh yeah, like I identify with this fear, like, oh yeah. But it's like there's a pretending that's happening, like an you're overprotecting something, and you're pretending that it's not ready. Almost like, you know how like when a parent watches a child become a teenager, and now the teenager hits puberty, and now it's time to drive, and now it's time to be in relationships and sex talk and stuff like that. And you're overprotecting because you know the pain that you experience, and maybe some of the traumas that you've experienced in the past. So what you're doing is projecting those pain and experiences into the future because you have a fear of them happening again. So you're not giving this new thing a chance to experience life on its own, like without you. So it's really, really beautiful. And like, that could be actual children, but it feels more like an idea, or a new part of you, or who you are, like who you've grown into, or a new project, or a new piece of you, or something. Like, a new piece of you feels more resonant. Maybe that's just for me personally, but a new piece of you that wants to experience life without your overprotection, without your micromanaging. And it's like, okay, give me a chance to shine. Give me a chance to be out there. Give me a chance to kind of like take over for you. So let's pull some tarot and see if there's anything else we can say about this overprotecting, because there's like a shadow energy around it. I love how I'm like, there's a shadow energy around it. The sun's like, I am coming to clear all that up for you. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So it's like you're overprotecting something. Whatever it is, you're just being really overprotective because you feel like the sun is the only card we need here, honestly. Because it's like, what else we have the Nine of Cups. Yeah. And then we have we have the Eight of Pentacles, of course. And then we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yep. I feel like the Three of Pentacles out here as your healing card, the frequency of this reading for you is because there's an over preparedness. and you're holding back, like you're being overprotective of something, like you're afraid to share. Like, you know, the Three of Pentacles for me is like about the energy of sharing with others, collaborating with others, working with others, sharing, expressing, exploring, building, crafting, creating ideas. So the reason why I feel like it's in reverse is because you have all these things, you're afraid to just share them with the world. You're afraid to give them out, like you're being overprotective. And I feel like your healing card is recognizing in your life where you are being overprotective, or you're already ripe, you're already ready, but you're trying to get to this level of over preparedness so that you don't have to experience the pain and trauma that you experienced before. But I feel like because of the growth and evolution that you've experienced, look, the Sun and the Nine of Cups here, I don't feel like you have to worry about that as much as you think you have to, because you've been working on it so well. You've been doing such a good job of it. And I feel like what is happening is this energy here is coming through your life so that you can realize your true mastery, so that this Eight of Pentacles can actually have an upright position. Because I feel like what happens is you realize who it is that you truly are and what you want to do. Like, you have the awareness of, you have the clarity, and you're like, oh wow, this feels really good. This feels very like I feel joy from this. This is this is my wish. This is the intention. But then when you go over here and realize that you have to put it to task, like you actually have to use it, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You back off. You back off. And you back off mainly because of this fear, like this Three of Pentacles energy, of this fear of expressing, this fear of I'm not ready yet, this fear of what if everybody thinks it's stupid, what if they don't agree, what if this, what if that. Like a lot of what if, when it's that is tied to other people, or tied of how other people will receive you or how other people will think. So honestly, what I feel for you this week, group 3, is to submit to the Sun and Knight of Cups energy, because it's going to really show you and get you to where you're going. Because you, like, the Eight of Pentacles is screaming like mastery to me. Like, you've already mastered this thing. You've already overworked it. You're overripe. You're done. Like, you don't have to think about it as much as you think you need to. You just overthink it because overthinking is fun for you. And it makes you feel safe and in control, which if that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. But you're not safe, as in like doing this means nobody will judge me. No, people are still going to judge you. People are still going to talk shit, people are still going to be human beings. And I feel like that's what you're trying to prepare for. Like, you're trying to prepare for like you're trying to be perfect so that nobody has space to say anything bad about you. But it literally doesn't matter, because people are still going to find something. Like, people say bad stuff about everybody. Like, anything on this planet that you can name, there's somebody out there that doesn't like it, and that's okay. And I feel like you have to like realize that, like, you're perfect as you are, and the world is perfect, and everybody is perfect as they are. Everybody is special and everybody is perfect as they are. Why? Because we're all part of a higher process. And it's this understanding that with everybody, thinking of everybody as perfect, you can think of yourself as that and think of, hey, it's fine that they don't like me. It's fine because I know who I am, because that's their journey, and their journey is perfect for them. It's designed for their soul, to season their soul, to weather their soul, to grow their soul, as my journey is doing that for mine. So it's like really important for you to like really, really understand that people are always going to talk their shit. People are always going to be human beings. Like, people are always going to be people, and that's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, that's what they're supposed to be. And you holding back just because you think that you can get every 7 billion, human being on this planet to like you is just, it's a waste of time and energy and focus and force. Because I feel like you're stuffing this card because you want to have something for everybody, and that's just not the case. I feel like, honestly, when I tap into the energy of the future of you, like, honestly, I don't feel like people are going to hate you the way that you think. Like, you think that they're going to be mobs or something like that, but that's just not what's happening. I honestly feel like you're going to be fine, and you're just going to have millions. Like, you're just going to have an outpour of support and help, and you're going to actually feel safe. And people are going to talk shit, and you're still going to feel safe because you're secure in you. And I feel like that is where the safety needs to be cultivated from. It needs to be self-produced, like the sun. The sun self-produces. And I feel like this is the energy that you're going through, is this self-production, because it's important for you to understand that you don't need any validation from anybody else, as in, you don't need them to look at you and say that you are the sun. You are the sun, and you know you're the sun. You self-produce this energy. You don't need anyone to tell you, and you're gonna get that. It's a natural thing, and we all want that, and we all want it, and you will still want it. You not even want. We all desire acknowledgement and validation, and that's totally healthy and normal. And we shouldn't place a negative connotation on wanting validation, because it's something that we all want, and we all like it. We all enjoy it. However, what has happened is it's become a necessity almost. Like, people need the validation so that they can continue to feel safe to show up as they truly are. And what you're realizing is you don't need the validation to constantly feel safe to show up as who you truly are. Whether it's there or not, you're going to show up as who you truly are because you feel safe and secure in your own self, not safe and secure in the arms and the opinions of other people. Does that make sense? Oh, that makes sense. That's what's happening here for you, group 3, is you realizing that, like, you don't have to be overprotective of who you are. And that's probably why you're being so overprotective, because you're afraid of your own safety. You fear for your safety when it comes to being who you truly are, stepping into your power, taking your power back from other people's eyes and validation. And I feel like when you do that, there feels like your safety net is gone. So that's probably exactly what's happening, why that overprotective energy is here the way that it is. But I think, honestly, that you're fine, and you're stepping into mastery, a level of mastery when it comes to whatever it is that you're thinking and that you're working on. Like, your brain is ticking. It's working out something. It's like it knows the pieces fit. It's type of energy where it's like, I get this. It's something happening like clockwork. So I honestly feel like you're gonna be fine, group 3. I feel like all these groups are gonna be fine. I don't say that to invalidate your feelings, because feel what you feel, because that's part of the process. But at the end of the day, the confirmation is here that you are working on mastery, another level of mastery, and it's kind of like analyzing like this overprotective energy, or this need for validation in order for you to continuously or consistently show up as your validated safe self, and you actually stepping into that seat of power and validating your own self and feeling safe in your own self, and knowing that no weapon formed against you on the outer shall prosper. So let's get into your oracle cards. Your chakra wisdom card for this week is abundance with the second chakra, sacral chakra. Yep. I am worthy and I deserve an abundance of anything that I require. I watch my thoughts to ensure that I am honoring and respecting myself. Yep. I honor myself by knowing that I am worthy to receive. I am open to receive now. I remind myself that it is a sign of strength to ask for help. Exactly. You don't have to be, especially with this 3 of Pentacles in reverse, you don't have to be so overprotective and not sharing and not being who you truly are. Like, truly, it's a gift to other people around you to be who you truly are, and to ask for support when you need it. So let's get into your reminder for this week. You have the King of Wands with, I need to say I am a naturally radiant, powerful, loving person. I do not allow others to stifle me. Exactly. Exactly. Your Star Temple Oracle, we have, I did not freaking pronounce this right ever. Ecopius, the seer, visionary. I chart the stars, signs, and symbols to craft magic. And I feel like this is the energy of for some reason, this is coming off as the energy of over preparedness. Like, you have been charting, you've been reading the signs, the synchronicities, and all this stuff, and it's like they've been saying the same exact things, and you're just like, but am I ready though? You're still tippy-toeing around it. So it's really funny how that's coming through. There's a lot of tippy-toeing with power this week when it comes to this energy, and I feel like that's because there's a lot of embodiment, embodying of that power as well. So your tree oracle for this week to help with this grounding is, ginkgo. Cool. You have number 33. This is definitely higher insight, higher knowing, understanding that's funny. Understanding your leverage, your accuracy, how right you are, how ripe you are, you're ready. This is understanding your readiness. There's They're like, you're as ready as a tree. You're as ready as a tree will ever be. That's so funny. But like, it's just like you're ready and you're trying to fight it. And it's just like you've been going on this journey, you know, from here to there. And it's like you don't even recognize how like abundant and ready you are. You know, you are prepared. So I want to read the little poem out of the book for Geiko. From the seed comes the tree, from the tree comes the seed, the source of life, immortal to the core. Discover the home of your being, send down roots, center yourself. Who are you, really? Exactly. Exactly. Who are you really? And I feel truly like you already know this. You have the insight, you have the knowing. This is all about trusting that you are ready to show that person to the world. You are ready to be that for the world. You're ready to give that to the world, to be of service, to give that ripe fruit that is you to the world. You're ready. If there's one thing that I have to say to this group 3, is that you are absolutely positively ready. So, yeah. Sit with that readiness this week. Sit with the fact that you're ready and where you are with the job that you have and the people that are around you and the places and the things. Sit with the fact that regardless of what you think, you are ready. So that is it for this reading group 3. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did not, that is okay. Take what resonates and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to absolutely anything that's not yours. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you sit in this readiness because you are overripe. Take a bite. And I will see you next time, group 3. Bye-bye. Group 4. For everyone who chose the selenite heart, this will be your reading. So cards to the side, power animal. So let's get into this. Your power animal for this week is you have Swan. You have Swan in reverse. So let me tap into this energy and see what Swan in reverse is saying. It's time for you to accept higher grace in your higher placement. You're denying this because you fear entitlement. You fear being entitled or like a bratty child. But that's like the furthest from the truth. That's what they're saying. We need you to step into your power and step into who you truly are so that you can experience the full glory of this world. You are divine, you are divinely timed, you are activated, and your time is now. Your time has always been now. And they're echoing like your time has always been now. Like you're not in the wrong time period. You're not in the wrong time period. You're not in the wrong space. You're not in the wrong anything, as in you're not where, like, let me rephrase this in a way that makes sense. You're exactly where you need to be, and you're not in a place that you don't need to be, as in like where you are right now is where you need to be so that you can realize where you need to be. Does that make sense? Because that's how it's coming through energetically. Like, let me see if I can say that again. Where you are now is where you need to be so that you can realize where you need to be. So whatever it is that you're currently experiencing it so that you can tap into higher levels of wisdom and discernment. Because when you tap into higher levels of wisdom and discernment, you know where you need to be. You can discern your yes from your no. You can tap into your intuition more readily. It is more available to you. You have more access, and it's not covered in insecurity and what you think you need to be and what you think you need and what you think you blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. This is about tapping into your higher presence, your higher state of awareness, your higher state of knowing, self-awareness. Like, this is a higher level of consciousness, and that's very difficult for you because you fear that it's going to make you think or seem like you're better than other people. This is probably for me, because I was saying this the other day. there are some things in your life that are becoming a necessity. Space, time, energy, yoga, exercise, meditation, cleaner water, cleaner air, more sunshine more often, more play, more adventures, more. You need healthier relationships. You need healthier connections when it comes to work. There's just a lot that you're understanding that you need, and it's not that you it's not that you okay, it's not that you can't exist with it's not that you can't survive without them. Like, you can survive, you can deal without them. That's the word. You can deal without them, but you will not be living life optimally. You'll live a very unmotivated, unsatisfied life because you're not giving your whole entire essence what it needs to be, what it needs to be a being, what it needs to actually flourish. So that is what's happening for you, group 4. Like, your higher self is like saying, like, you need me and I need you, like we need each other. But I feel like what is important for group 4 is to understand, like, your higher self is saying, you need me, like, you need me. You need me. You need to trust me. You need to believe in me. You need me. So trust where you're headed and trust where I'm leading you to. Like, trust this. You need me, because it's just a higher calling, a higher level of consciousness that is coming through, and you're so afraid of accepting this level of entitlement. Like, you don't want the entitlement. Like, you like, your biggest fear is, like, you don't want to be looked at as arrogant or cocky or bitchy because you need this type of space, or you have such strong boundaries. Like, you have a fear of having strong boundaries because you feel like with strong boundaries that X's people out, or that you invalidate other people's feelings or emotions and things like that. However, it is up to you to control your energy. You have to take your power back. You have to take your power back into your own hands, and you have to understand what works for you and what doesn't. Because I feel like there's some people in your life that are like high maintenance, as in they're high maintenance because they dramatize everything, and they try to make everything about them, and they try to like make it seem like everything is everybody else's fault, and they blame everything on everybody else, and then they try to like make all these like crazy scenarios and things and whatever. And that's okay. That's them. That's what they're learning. That's what they're working through. That's what they're learning in this lifetime. That's what they're surmounting. And you're just part of their journey as they are yours. Because I'm sure there's plenty that you're learning from them as well. However, it's like really, like it seems like when you try to put so much energy on them, like your own beingness gets really frustrated and fumbled and disorganized. And what your higher self needs from you is more, like, it needs to be more organized. Like, I see the swans like swimming, and like like a swan too. It's almost like I see like the human swan like a ballerina, and like the control and the organization of like the control and the flow of every movement. It's like the same thing for the bird, like this beautiful like ensemble. It's like really cool. But also it's like like organizing, like you're organizing your priorities. That's what it is. That's what it is. Your priorities. Like, I literally just want to say your priorities are effed up. And they're effed up because you think that you have to be everything to everybody, and you think that like, oh, my body can go, like, I can eat like this, or like your body's like, no, I don't want that, like, no, or I need that, or this is important to me, or like for some reason you're offsetting your own priorities to meet the standards of other people's priorities, because you feel like, oh, this is how you be a good person, and it's not how you be a good person. You're not trying to be a good person, you're trying to be you. And I feel like that is what you need to understand here. You're not trying to be a good person, you're trying to be you. So it's time for you to like really step into higher grace and analyze what your priorities are, because Spirit sent you on a mission here to do your job, not someone else's job. They're going to do their mission just fine. They are doing their mission just fine. And that's not for you to try and disable or enable or get in the way of or interfere with by any means. This is for you. Your mission and your journey is for you to come here to complete, and only you can do that. So it's time, like higher grace. It's time for you to step into higher grace. Like it's time for you to understand and know that this is some crazy energy group 4, where it's like it's just higher grace. Like you just in the Queen of Wands, like shooting out. Of course, it's the Queen of Wands. Of course, it's the Queen of Wands. And we also we have the Hierophant, in reverse, and we also have the Six of Pentacles. Yep. And then bottom deck, we have Temperance. This is like you coming into being, like coming into that higher grace with Temperance. Temperance is your healing card this week. It's you stepping into that higher grace. That's what Temperance is saying to me. Like you I'm sorry to say this, but as a human being, what needs to happen for you, group 4, is for you to actually put yourself on a pedestal and see yourself as equal with Spirit. See yourself as equal with the gods and the goddesses, which is funny because someone just told me that these last couple of weeks. It's like understanding that these spirits are not like, I am better than you, so you better listen to me, you better, or like there's no hierarchy the way that humans have designed it. The only reason we think that there's a hierarchy is because we think that they have a power that we don't possess, and that is far from the truth. That is so far from the truth. But all these entities, including Spirit, are, just different iterations of human beings, different iterations of just energy and an accumulation of atoms. Like it's literally like we're all the same thing. And the more you can understand that, the more this will fit. Like the more you can come into this understanding, because I see here with the Hierophant energy and the Six of Pentacles in reverse, like honestly, I just feel like you're too afraid to step away from men. I'm hearing like charity victory. Like you want to be the one who like gives to charity, to give to the lesser, not the lesser, but like what you would consider like someone who, like compassion. Like you think compassion is only when you help people who are less fortunate than you, when really that's you actually creating a hierarchy and thinking that someone is less fortunate because of their story. And what you do with this is you take their story and you create guilt and you create pity. And then you create a sense of obligation within you that says you are obligated to do this. And if you don't do this, you're a bad person. Now, I'm not saying to help people, and that I'm by no means trying to invalidate what people are experiencing in life. But it's important to note that everything is playing its part. Everything is playing its role in this life in a higher sense of what we're experiencing. And it's hard to embody that when you have gone through tragedy and horrible experiences in life. It's hard to hold, like, how can you say, like all this is just what I want or what my being is doing? But it's true. And you can resist that truth all you want, but it's true. This is all a higher process and what we're processing. Now, that does not mean that what you will do will not be of the world. It will absolutely be of the world, because this is where the evolution is happening. However, there's a higher sense of grace that is calling out to you, or a higher sense of knowing that is calling out to you, that needs to be embodied, that wants to be embodied. Like your higher self is like, you need me for this. You're not going to do this without me. So it's putting yourself in that seat and knowing that you can give out of abundance and out of joy and not out of guilt and resentment. Like you don't have to make someone else a lesser than in order for you to be where you are. You don't have to exploit people's sob stories, or, you know, like this, you know, all these stories that we hear, you know, people, poverty and stuff like that. Like, you don't have to exploit people's stories to guilt trip yourself into doing things. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Like, you don't have to think that you have to help everybody or do everything for everybody just because you exist. Like, I'm trying to like get the language or the wording, but yeah, you don't have to think of it that way. You don't have to exploit yourself in that way or exploit other people's stories. You don't have to like trying to get like more wording besides like saying that same circle, but I feel like that is what needs to be worked through in you, because what is true is that there are some people who are traveling and navigating and experiencing lifetimes in this, or roles in this life, that are more challenging than the one that you're currently experiencing. But you have plenty of lifetimes. So you've had some that are more challenging, so some that are more of ease and more, you know, geared towards indulgence. But what we're doing is balancing this, and we're coming into the understanding that there is a higher game at play. And with this coming into understanding, then we can transcend this game. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like kind of hard to like get the words out, but it's just you stepping into higher grace. And I feel like this is what you fear doing, because you have to like step into a position of power. Like you put yourself on a pedestal, which you should. And putting yourself on a pedestal doesn't mean that you are like, this is literally being flawed, and know that you're a flawed human being, and knowing that you, in essence, what I'm saying is, I truly believe that everything is perfect. Everything is in divine order. So of course it's perfect. However, what humans think of perfect is something that we'll never ever reach, because what humans think of as perfect is not a human being. Humans think human beings can never be perfect. The standards that humans have of a human being being perfect is unattainable. It's not real. It's unrealistic for anybody. So this is really the understanding that, yes, everything is playing its role, everything is playing its part, but this is where you get to honor your own power and put yourself in that position of being queen, of being king, of putting yourself on that pedestal and knowing that you can be your own authentic self. And that doesn't have anything else to do with anybody. That's just a role. It's your positioning. It's what you're doing in this lifetime, and whatever else anybody else is doing is just for themselves. They'll find their way to their own proper positioning. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're doing the same thing. So it's like what's funny is, with this energy, it feels very back and forth, wishy-washy, indecisive. Like, I'm jumping over here and playing, you know, saying this, and then back over for devil's advocate. So it's this constant like devil's advocate type energy that's coming through. So it's really, really interesting. So I'm sorry to like trail off and keep like bouncing back and forth, but that's how I feel in the energy. It's like ping ponging me back and forth. And really what you're doing is striking the balance of knowing how powerful and how important and how significant you are as a human being, and trusting that for all others, regardless of where they find themselves currently positioned in life. So yeah, that is the energy for you this week. Finding your footing, which always comes through with Swan, in your positioning, and actually trusting that your positioning is exactly what you expect it to be. So Chakra wisdom card for you this week. Meditation and silence, exactly what I was saying earlier. Like, this is one of those things that is a necessity for you. I sit still in meditation regularly, as I know there is power in silence. I seek out stillness during some parts of every day. In the silence, I am open to receive without asking and without expectation. In the silence, I will hear and see the truth. Rest, tranquility, and peace are rejuvenating to my spirit, and they're a necessity for you, Group 4. Miraculous emotional, mental, and physical healings are available when I'm open to receive. Exactly. Like this is the type of energy that you need in your life. Like your crown, your higher, like your higher realm chakras. And when I say higher, I don't mean higher. I mean higher as in your chakras that are responsible for tapping you into the void or the ethers or that which is beyond the veil need more of your energy and more of your time and more of your persistence, consistency. Like they need more of your energy and your managing. So I honestly feel like that's why it's coming through like that. So yeah. Yeah. And then your advice for this week is, I need to say I respect and love my body. I find joy in adorning me. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying for you, Goo 4. It is like time for you to realize that it's not that you're being better than anybody or whatever, arrogant, blah blah blah. And maybe it is, who cares? But really the truth is, you know what's true for you and you know what you need, and you know when you are not and when you are in a place to receive what it is that you need. So your star temple oracle for this week is the little star divine. My inner child is whole and complete. I love that so much with this energy. This like bringing together of, I know what I need. I know what's important for me. Like I know what I need to feel safe and to have fun and to feel safe to go out and play. But I also know how important it is to take care of my body and to be cautious and aware of what it is I'm putting into my body. What are the things I'm paying attention to? Who are the people I'm around? Things like that. I feel like this is that inner child energy of knowing both sides of this. You know, the balance in between what's fun, let's do this, but also wisdom and discernment. So, and to help you ground, we have our tree oracle angel we have Ivy with number 22. I love this energy so much, and I feel like Ivy is like the energy of tapping you into this inner queen and this inner knowing, realizing when stuff in your life realizing in your life where there are some, I want to say poisons, but that feels very that feels very like sad to say it that way, but this is just realizing too when things just aren't healthy for you. So with Ivy it says, don't ask for reward or compensation, or whether someone sometime will recognize the greatness of your actions. It makes no difference to you. There's no need for triumph. The greatest happiness is found in following your inner path. Exactly. That is exactly it. Like it doesn't matter what other people are doing. It doesn't matter who's going to validate you, who's not going to validate you. You're realizing the importance of that for yourself. And you're realizing how important it is to take care of your own self, you know, to make sure your inner child is whole and complete and safe and full and happy, and you know they've played and they've done their homework. Like this is how it's extremely important for you. Like this is how important it is for you. Like you don't need, like the thing is, you don't need anything from anybody else. This is, other people are going to be in your life naturally. Other people are going to support you naturally. Other people are going to help you like it's not a need. It's not something that you have to focus on finding. People are going to do this naturally for you in your life. So what is important for you to realize is it's super healthy for you to be who you need to be and take care of yourself. In order for you to be who you need to be, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to use that wisdom and discernment. If you need to find out who that is, meditation and silence. But I honestly don't feel like you need meditation and silence to figure out who that is. I feel like you already know who that is. I feel like you need wisdom and discernment to determine where do you want to place boundaries, because it feels like you need boundaries. And it actually feels less like you need boundaries as in you haven't, like, oh, you need boundaries, that means you haven't tried to place boundaries. No, this feels like you need to analyze what you need to do to offer yourself the best space, the best time, the best energy. Like what can you do for yourself to make sure that you feel aligned and that you feel ready and that you feel like like, this is what I need to do for me. Does that make sense? Like, even if that's leaving a job, a relationship, moving, whatever it is, it feels like it's time for you to get real, like tapping into this higher grace, and it's time for you to get real about what it is that you need, because you know who it is that you are. If that makes sense. That's the energy. That is the energy. This week, group 4, tapping into what it is you truly need, because your soul knows what you truly need, and your soul is telling you what you truly need. And it's just time for you to make sure that you are committing and responding to what that necessity is. Does that make sense? I feel like I have to show you reward myself too. I'm not going to read it, but you can pause it. But group 4, like, I know that I am truly worthy and deserve to receive the good things in life, and I give myself permission to have them. It is time to enjoy the fruits of my labor. Like, this card is for you. Please pause this and read it. Like, I feel like if there was any pile that needed this message, it's group 4. Because it's like this energy of like fear of power, fear of entitlement, but it's like, yeah, you're fearing all the things that you know you need. You know you need your power, and you're entitled to take the time and the space and all the things that you need for your body. Like, you gotta step out of that mass consciousness and that slave labor thinking and that self-sacrificing thinking. I feel like you're holding on to, you're clenching onto that for dear life, because you're using it to defend yourself against other people and try to make yourself like seem better than others. And that's where the real sense of entitlement is coming from. It's actually not coming from this queen energy that you have. It's coming from, I'm better than this person because I can self-sacrifice more, and I can do this, and I can give to charity, you know. And it's like very snobby and like not right. Like, it doesn't look good on you. And I feel like you're realizing that, and like you're realizing, oh, this is not what I want to do. And you're realizing what is true for you, which will put you in proper positioning. And you're figuring out what it is that you need in your life to feel like a full human being that is living the life that they need to feel very connected to spirit and their own inner self and their own inner healing and their mission in this life. So I feel like that's what you're realizing this week, group 4. So let's go ahead and wrap up this reading. Thank you so much for coming through and sitting with me, chilling with me for this week ahead reading. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did not, that is okay. Take what resonates and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything, absolutely anything that is not yours. So again, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you next time, group 4. Bye-bye.